The FBI headquarters building is just a few blocks from the White House on Pennsylvania Avenue, and it is a mess. For years now, they've had nets up on the outside of the building to catch bits of that building as they fall off. When President Trump took office, the plan for the crumbling FBI building was to do a kind of swap with a private developer. The government, the General Services Administration, would hire a private developer to build a brand new campus for the FBI somewhere in the suburbs. And then essentially, as part of the payment for doing that work, the private developer would get that terrible falling down FBI building, which the developer would be allowed to tear down and replace with a big new development of his or her choice, right there on prime real estate on Pennsylvania Avenue, just a few blocks from the White House. And everybody involved in this plan knew to expect that the result of it would be that any new high-dollar development at that Pennsylvania Avenue site, it would almost inevitably include a fancy new high-dollar luxury hotel. And the problem with that is that that site is only about a block away from what is already the newest big luxury hotel in that part of D.C., which is the new Trump Hotel. So that plan would give the president's brand new hotel in D.C. top-tier luxury competition right across the street. So a few months into the Trump administration, the administration announced, hey, new plan, an unexpected change in plan. That old plan will be scrapped. Now there will not be a new hotel, a big new development on the site of the FBI building. In fact, they've decided to change directions 180 degrees. They're going to keep the FBI headquarters right where it is and build them a new building right there on the same site. The White House said this would save the taxpayers money, but in fact, it will cost more. Also, the new headquarters will hold fewer agents than the original plan had called for. The White House said the president had nothing to do with this dramatic change in plans that would so impact his own personal bottom line. They said it was totally the FBI's call. The head of the GSA, General Services Administration, she was called before Congress. She also repeatedly said this plan was what the FBI wanted. Nobody else was involved. But then several Democratic lawmakers wrote to the head of the GSA and essentially said, hold on here. First of all, here's a photo of you meeting with the president about this project. That's the GSA director sitting there in the middle there, the one woman in the photo. And second of all, those Democratic lawmakers got a hold of the actual emails that were sent by the GSA, by the head of the agency and her staff, recounting what happened at that meeting and putting the decisions made at that meeting into action. And those emails include an official from the GSA sending an email a few days after that meeting referring to what POTUS directed everyone to do, and quote, POTUS's orders. Another official from the agency writes about delivering, quote, the project the president wants on the timetable. He wants it done. What that meeting was about, what those presidential orders were about, what the president wanted done was a U-turn on that big multi-billion-dollar federal project. So the FBI building would not be redeveloped into a new luxury hotel that would compete with his hotel across the street. And he was directly involved in the decision to make that change. When those Democrats released that basically smoking gun evidence of the president's intervention in that project, that he stood to benefit from financially, when they demanded that the GSA hand over all documents showing how and why the original plan got turned upside down, that was not that long ago. It was October of last year. Elijah Cummings was then the ranking Democrat on the Oversight Committee. We had him here on the show that night. And we asked him, hey, this seems pretty open and shut. What's going to happen here in terms of accountability? This is what he said.
I don't think much will happen with regard, if things continue the way they've been with regard to our committee. As you probably know, Chairman Gowdy has refused to issue any subpoenas, and basically the Republicans have acted more or less as defense counsel for this administration. So it may be, Rachel, that before we can truly get into this and hold hearings, it may be when the Democrats take over, hopefully in January, that we'll have hearings and then we'll get to the bottom line.
That was Congressman Cummings speaking before the midterm elections. That was October. As you might recall, Democrats actually did quite well in the elections the following month, and they did indeed take over the House as of January. And now, today, the Democrats have started making good on their promise to get to the bottom of what looks like a clear-cut second-grade textbook case of American government corruption coming directly from the President of the United States. That's next.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.